Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about is sword and shield. Now this is going to apply to any two-weapon fighter, okay, but I'm going to use a shield for the purposes of this because it shows up better on camera and you can see it better, and I think it illustrates my point better. Whenever you have a shield, especially one with good coverage, and any secondary that provides good defensive capabilities as well as offensive, okay, it allows you to simultaneously defend and attack. The drills are similar but slightly different for this, okay? So I'm on guard, I'm using the exact same stance, okay? And by the way, people have asked me in the past, this is the same stance I use for boxing, for fencing. It's my all-purpose stance because my center of gravity is controlled and it allows me to move very freely, okay? So I'm on guard, shield is up and out, sword is ready, okay? Now from here, I can step forward and attack, boom, and recover, okay? Notice my shield is static, okay? Because it's guarding my high left side, and if my opponent's attacking from the right. So from here, I can cut, recover, and I'm covered there, okay? If I cut and my opponent countercuts to my leg, I can cut, and then as I retreat, cover my leg with the shield and cover high with the sword, okay? I'll do the same thing with a hanging guard. Bang, hanging guard, recover, okay? I can also keep the shield where it is and cover low with the sword, right? So cut, cover, step out, on guard, all right? Now, that's from the attack. If my opponent is attacking at the same time I want to attack, or I should say more accurately, if my opponent attacks, I don't have to worry about parrying and then riposte because I've got something else I can use to intercept that attack. So from here, if my opponent attacks my leg, I can drop the shield and countercut, okay? Likewise, if I want to close with my opponent but protect myself while I'm doing so, I go to cut at the leg, I push the shield out to stop any counterattack, cut, recover backward, okay? The idea being, the shield doesn't just stay pasted in one location, okay? It can be dynamic. You don't want to over-move it. You should either be moving it just to your shoulder height or down enough to block above your feet, okay? But you don't want to move it over here. You don't want to open it up here. It should stay very conservative and kind of centered on your body, okay? Also, if I turn sideways, you can see I'm not holding the shield tight to my body here. I'm also not holding it way out here, okay? I'm on guard. As I step forward and drop low to cover, I'll push the shield out a little bit, cover behind it, okay? And then I pull it back to my body into my ready stance once I've recovered. I hope that makes sense. The idea here is when you drill with a sword and shield, you want to think of yourself as simultaneously covering yourself with the shield as when you attack. So if I attack offside, I'm going to cover with the shield any area of my body that the sword is not already preemptively covering, okay? And if I cut onside, if I go low, I'll cover high. If I go high, I might push it to the outside, okay? But you'll notice when I'm attacking, even if I attack offside, I'm not opening the shield up. I'm not opening the shield up to make that attack. I work around the shield, okay? Boom. So I want to attack low, okay? But I don't want to expose myself, otherwise, what's the point of having the shield, okay? There are a lot of techniques that we can talk about utilizing the shield and combining them with attacks. And by the way, it doesn't just have to be, obviously, but sometimes it's obvious to me, but sometimes it has to be demonstrated. It doesn't have to just be a sword, right? This is an axe, okay? Same idea, bang, recover. Okay? So, let me know if you have any questions about this. Likewise, at the events, if you want to do some training with sword and shield, do some sparring so that you can try it out and see how comfortable you are with the techniques, I'm more than happy to do so. Just look me up. Thanks.